The ancient city of Polonnaruwa. Polonnaruwa was the second capital of Sri Lanka after the destruction of Anuradhapura in 993 AD. Most commonly referred to as Sri Lanka's second ancient capital, the city of Polonnaruwa is located in Sri Lanka's northern central province. The ancient city has one of the best planned archaeological relic sites. It comprises of Brahminic monuments built by the Cholas. The monumental ruins of the fabulous garden city was created by Parakrama Bahu I in the 12th century. The city also boasts an impressive array of ruined palaces and courtyards, pleasure gardens, an intricate network of bathing tanks, as well as carvings and sculptures and rich display of artistry. The ancient city was declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1982. Adjacent to the complex of the reservoir, Polonnaruwa Museum is located in the World Heritage Site, which exhibits a fine collection of artifacts discovered at the site of Polonnaruwa. The museum is relatively new and housed inside a newly constructed building near Parakrama Samudra Reservoir, which was built nearly 1000 years ago. Visiting the museum itself is a fantastic journey through the bygone era of Polonnaruwa. Pothgul Viharaya. This is the oldest library complex found in Sri Lanka. Pothgul means for a place to store books. The Viharaya was built by King Parakrama Bahu the Great. This was renovated by Queen Chandravati, the consort of King Parakrama Bahu. Pothgul Viharaya is a Gediye type structure building in the middle of a square-shaped stage. The interesting point in this building is the circular structure in the middle. It seems the main library made out of brick. The circular shaped roof even made out of brick that it looks like. There are remainings of 4 small tupas at the 4 corners of the floor. Out of it, there are the remaining of several buildings which were used as avasas or residential cells where the bhikkhus lived. Pothgul Viharaya design is closer to the most of the old vihara found in Cambodia. Parakrama Samudra, Sea of Parakrama Bahu. One of the most striking features in Polonnaruwa is the vast Parakrama Samudra, an irrigation tank built by the King Parakrama Bahu the Great. This was his largest irrigation project and covers an area of more than 15 square kilometers. The dam is almost 14 kilometers long and 12 meters high. The waters of the Parakrama Samudraya circle the ancient city and its environs, and in ancient times it served as a moat against invading armies. An intricate network of irrigation canals supplied water from this reservoir to the surrounding paddy fields, ensuring that agricultural production could be carried out throughout the year. The rain-fed agricultural practices were transformed and Polonnaruwa became the rice-growing capital of ancient Lanka. The Dipuyana is on the promontory by the rest house. When the King Parakrama Bahu has built his vast lake, he selected this lovely spot for a royal garden. Later King Nisankamala liked it so much that he built his space and council of chambers there. In 1070, though the Chola dynasty was overtaken by Sinhalese kingdom, the King Vijayabahu who kept the Polonnaruwa as his capital, and it was during his Sinhalese period that Polonnaruwa reached its glory. Royal Palace Complex. The first group of ruins you meet after entering the ground of the ancient city is the Royal Palace Group. This group of buildings dates from the period of King Parakrama Bahu I. The King's Royal Palace is a massive structure measuring 31 meters height and 13 meters in width, once including 50 rooms supported by 30 columns. Even today, it is quite an impressive building. Among the most noteworthy buildings in ancient Polonnaruwa was the royal palace of King Parakrama Bahu. The palace must have been an imposing edifice, and the chronicles describe it as 7 stories high, furnished with 1,000 chambers. Today, only some of the walls are left, with holes to hold floor beams for 2 higher levels. The archaeological speculate that they must have been made of wood. The Royal Audience Hall. Entering the palace from the south, you come to a great hall which is 31 meters long and 30 meters wide. It was probably an audience hall, also known as the Council of Chambers of Parakramabahu. Embellished with lion portals, graceful pillars, and the moonstone, the building is supported by powerful bas-reliefs of elephants around the base. Each one is different from the next. The stairs to the audience hall was pretty impressive, with beautiful lions on the top of each side. Although the palace itself is in ruins, the frieze of elephants in the main audience hall and the many carvings and the moonstone along the entryways to the buildings are worth exploring. The Royal Swimming Pool. In one corner of the palace grounds is the King's Swimming Pool, with crocodile mouth sprouts used to lead fresh water into the pool. Is really an impressive architecture to see. Today, the water is not very tempting to go to swimming inside. It's an alien green as it is. The impressive architectural, intricate design of the swimming pool is so adorable that you can find in the corner of the palace grounds. On my next stop, I headed to the Sacred Quadrangle, which is a compact group of beautiful and impressive ruins with a raised up platform bounded by a wall. This is the most concentrated collection of buildings in the whole ancient city and a must-see for any visitors. The Hattadage. As you enter the complex, the first one that you notice is the Shrine of 60 Relics Hattadage, which stands opposite to the Wattadage. It was claimed to have been built by King Nisankamala to house the sacred tooth relic and is a handsome edifice, whose plain ashlar walls are very artistically relieved by a double border of faintly incised carvings. However, despite Nisankamala's claim, it may in fact been built by Parakramabahu. The Wattadage. In the middle of the quadrangle and standing opposite to Hattadage is the Wattadage, a circular relic house typical of its kind. The outermost terrace is an impressive 18 meters in diameter and has 4 entrances, all flanked by large god stones in beautiful condition. The 4 entrances all led to a central dagaba with 4 Buddhas. The oblong brick image house occupies the southwest corner of the adjoining quadrangle. Nisanka Lata Mandapaya, a very pretty pavilion. This floral altar in stone has pillars which stimulate with rare grace, a lotus on a stalk. This is a sacred hall of unknown purpose and was built by Nisanka Malla. In the center of the building is a small model Dagaba with worshippers sculptured around the base. The Tupparama. This oblong brick image house occupies the southwest corner of the adjoining quadrangle. The Tupparama is a large Buddhist image house. Inside the building, in the inner sanctum, is a ruined brick and plaster pile that was once a seated image of the Buddha. Kalpota, or the stone book, a massive 8-meter long and 4.3-meter wide stone slab which lies by the side of the Hattadage, is inscribed with the deeds of the king Nisanka Malla. The massive inscriptions, amongst other things, records Nisanka Malla's brief invasion of India in glowing terms and details of his relations with foreign states as far away as modern Pakistan and Indonesia. The Sat Mahal Prasada. It's a square pyramidal tower in 7 tiers at the Kaaba of novel design. Each side of each tier is ornamented by a figure of a deity in an arched niche. The simple steep design is a very ancient form of architecture which occurs in the steppe pyramids of Egypt and ziggurats of Mesopotamia. Another building of this type occurs in Thailand in the monastery of Wat Kukut, Lampun, and both are probably derived from an earlier Indian prototype. The Rankot Vihara. The Rankot Vihara is a huge Dagaba in excellent condition and measures about 550 feet in width and 180 feet high. It is the largest Dagaba in Polonnaruwa and it's also the 4th largest in Sri Lanka, and it dates back to King Nisanka Malla's period. Although it was completed by Nisanka Malla, the Dagaba was probably largely the work of Rupavati, one of Parakramabahu's queens. Kiri Vihara. Just ahead of Lanka Tilaka is the gleaming white Kiri Vihara or Kiri Viharaya, literally means milk of white temple, which is said to have been built by King Parakramabahu in honor of his wife, Queen Subhadra. Kiri Vihara is the best preserved of Sri Lanka's unrestored Dagabas. This stupa, which is 95 feet in height with a circumference of 280 feet, is located 800 meters north to the famous Ruhuna Maha Kataragama Devalaya. The beautiful temple was built to honor King's Queen. When the archaeologists came to know about this area, it was cleared from the overgrown temple. They found the original lime plaster still in white perfect condition even after 700 years. Lanka Tilaka. The huge Lanka Tilaka is impressive with its 17-meter high walls. Although the roof is gone, it still has a cathedral-like feeling about it, and the aisles lead to a huge standing headless Buddha. The walls of the majestic Lanka Tilaka even now stands 55 feet in height. In the 12th century, it was one of the most splendid Buddhist shrines in Asia. Lanka Tilaka, or otherwise called as the Ornament of Lanka, was built by Parakramabahu the One. Gal Vihara. Gal Vihara is a group of 4 beautiful Buddha statues in perfect condition cut from one long slab of granite. The first sculpture is a seated Buddha image in a deep meditation on a throne decorated with lions and thunderbolts. The statue is one of the most impressive examples of Sri Lanka's sculpture. The next sculpture is inside a cave carved out of solid rock. The seated Buddha is protected by an umbrella. Between the cave and the tall standing figure is a large inscription of Parakramabahu, which records in detail his struggle to unite the Buddhist order and sets out the reformed rules of conduct. The finest of the images is a standing figure which is 23 feet high with crossed arms. The carvings of the serene face is extremely sensitive, and the relaxed, elegant execution of the body drapery distinguishes this figure as one of the masterpieces of Sri Lankan art. The immense figure of recumbent Buddha measures 46 feet, which is the last sculpture in the group. The Buddha is lying down on the final moment of his earthly life, entering the state of supreme enlightenment. Here too, the liquid flow of the robe over the body and the calm expression of the face are beautifully interpreted. Tiwanka Image House. It's the largest among the brick-built shrines of Polonnaruwa. In the narrow antechamber, beautiful devas, demigods, and the bodhisattvas above beckons the worshippers into the inner sanctum. Here stands the mighty Tiwanka image of the Buddha, depicted in the thrice curved pose. Demala Mahasaya, the Tamil Dagaba. This enormous stupa was built by Tamil prisoners of war. It's a shrine of novel design. The dome rising from a terraced and molded base is left unfinished at a height of about 50 feet from the ground. If it was completed, it would have been the largest Dagaba in the world, rising to about 600 feet in height. The restoration and excavation work at this site is taken up by the Archaeological Department of Sri Lanka. Lotus Bath, Nilum Pukuna. A pretty rock-cut pool shaped like a stylish lotus, gigantic lotus flower of granite in full bloom, with 5 concentric lamina of 8 petals, constructed in diminishing concentric lamina built by Nisanka Mala. The Pukuna or the bath found in Polonnaruwa are comparatively of the modest dimension. The architecturally perfect Kumara Pukuna found close to the King Parakrama Bahu Palace is a unique design built in tiers of 8 pet lotus. The chronicle speaks of a lotus bath among many ponds constructed by Parakrama Bahu the Great. It is believed to be the bath provided by the king for the monks belonging to the Jetavana Vihara. The decline of Polonnaruwa era. After Nisankamala's death, Polonnaruwa went to decline. Civil war, lawlessness, and constant invasions from the South Indian Chola Empire and Malay barbarians who sacked the city several times, virtually destroyed the social structure and religious order of the country. A whole century after this were the dark ages of Sri Lanka, a century from which few historical records survive. The capital was shifted to Kurungela and Polonnaruwa returned to the jungle. Its great reservoirs survived as a sea of swampy lakes, and large brick buildings became lost under thick tropical forest. The Portuguese are said to have raided and looted Polonnaruwa, but in the early 19th century the site was completely lost. In the early 13th century, the city's glory was fading and it was abandoned. That was the sad end of the era of beautiful Polonnaruwa as capital. The archaeological sites are in compact layout within easy distance of each other, and the tours are easily arranged either on foot or more popularly explored on bicycle. In the early years of the century, the main monuments of the ancient city were uncovered. Today, conservation and excavations continue as a part of the work of the cultural triangle of Sri Lanka. Thank you for watching my video. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel and let's stay connected, explore, dream and discover. Please like and share my videos. Thank you once again.